Oh boy, it's a bullying episode. This is gonna be messy. As the episode begins, Apple Bloom gets a visit from her cousin Babs Seed from Manhattan. Upon learning that Babs doesn't have her cutie mark yet, Apple Bloom immediately tries to get her to join the Cutie Mark Crusaders. Admittedly, they get off to a bit of an awkward start. Are you miming lunch? Really? I mean, for God's sakes, look at her. I'm pretty sure she knows what lunch is. In any case, they decide to impress her by showing off their float for the summer harvest parade. And Diamond Tiara shows up. Joy. They get into their usual back and forth name calling, and upon seeing the new girl, Diamond asks Babs who she'd rather hang out with. Up until this point, Babs has been shy, soft-spoken, and especially embarrassed about not having a cutie mark. So, in a decision that seemingly comes out of nowhere, she decides to hang out with the bully who picks on other kids for not having cutie marks. This obviously leaves the Crusaders feeling stunned, but it does show an important point about how bullies operate. Diamond Tiara picking on the Crusaders for not having cutie marks was never about them not having cutie marks. She just wanted everyone to be as mean and nasty as she was, and to walk all over everyone else. Heartbroken, the girls decide that since Babs will only be around for a couple of weeks, it'd probably be best to just ignore her until she leaves. But as the surprisingly catchy musical number shows, that's easier said than done. Babs keeps taking over more of their lives and making them completely miserable until they just can't take it anymore. Eventually, they come up with a plan to get back at her that involves building a new parade float and booby-trapping it so that she'll drown in the river. I'm not even joking. It's only by dumb luck that it ends up getting stuck in some mud instead. But Applejack shows up and reveals that Babs had been a victim of bullying back in Manhattan, so now we're to assume that when she was given the chance to side with Diamond Tiara, she saw that as an opportunity to avoid getting bullied here. So of course the Crusaders change their mind and save Babs before the float goes off the road, and now she's instantly their friend.
Hey, you guys saved me. Yo, Adrian, you leave my friends alone or I'll tell your mommy on you.
Yeah, fuck you, Babs. And Applejack says that the whole thing could have been solved if they had just gone to her in the first place. Why? What did Applejack do? I mean, yes, I will agree that if a bully is becoming a problem, the first thing you should do is tell someone about it. But the episode also shows the potential problem with that. I mean, think about it. Once Applejack finally heard what was going on, what did she actually do about it? Did she punish Babs for being a bully? No. Did she tell Babs to stop being a bully? No. Did she give Apple Bloom any advice on how to handle the situation? No. And forget about Babs for a second. What about Diamond Tiara? That little shit picks on Apple Bloom all the time. I mean, yeah, her dad happens to be one of the Apple family's best customers, but we saw in that episode that even he's tired of his daughter's bullshit. So I'll ask again, what has Applejack ever done to help her little sister deal with a bully?
Nothing! Absolutely nothing!
See, the thing is, and I'll try to make this brief because it's kind of a tangent, but bullying is a very serious and complex issue. There are different kinds of bullies out there, and there are different ways of handling them. And depending on the kinds of resources you have available to you, or the lack thereof, that could potentially be very difficult to deal with. That's why there isn't just one solution to the problem that universally applies to everyone. And it's far too complicated to explain in a half-hour kids program, to say nothing of the watered-down bullshit ending that this episode gives us. To say that all you should do is tell an adult who does nothing, and then actually imply that the girls were becoming bullies themselves by trying to stand up to Babs, is an awful message. Let's break this down again. When Babs arrived, she was horribly self-conscious about not having a cutie mark. So, Apple Bloom, Sweetie Belle, and Scootaloo offered her a group where she could deal with that specific issue, where she could be safe and have the support of friends. And in return, she called them names, broke their stuff, and spit in their faces. The girls did nothing to deserve this. That is what makes Babs a bully. The fact that she is also a victim of bullying is tragic, and it might explain her actions, but it doesn't excuse them. Any negative consequence that she faces will be because she invited it on herself by acting that way in the first place. Especially when you remember that the girls originally weren't going to do anything. They didn't try to get back at her until after she kept pushing them and acting like more of an asshole. Now, the Crusaders might have gone overboard with the whole sink her in in the river thing, but the basic idea of standing up to her in and of itself does not automatically make them bullies. So you know what? Instead of focusing on bullying as a general issue, this needed to be a much more focused episode about the characters. First off, Babs never should have been a bully. It made it really difficult to sympathize with her at the end. And besides, you already had Silver Spoon and Diamond Tiara there the whole time. Let them be the bullies. Make the episode about Babs learning to open up and overcome her insecurities. Like, she sees the bullies and she's not sure what to do about it, but she sticks with the Cutie Mark Crusaders because that's where she needs to be. And by spending more time with her new friends, she also learns that she's a lot stronger than she thought she was, and now she's not afraid of these bullies anymore. And then we're really cheering for her by the time she stands up to them at the end. I mean, I don't know, it's an idea at least. Let's get to know her over the course of the entire episode instead of just, she's mean, she's mean, she's mean. Oh, guess what? Turns out she's not that bad after all. Look, I'll give the episode credit for trying to make Babs a fully fleshed out character, and there is a moment where they kind of acknowledge that bullying is a trickier subject than it seems, but that and a catchy song will only get you so far. As it stands, the episode bites off way more than it can chew. It ends up feeling really misguided, unfocused, incomplete, and it has an unintentionally bad message at the end. One bad apple gets a 3 out of 10.